What's going on, guys? I'm Rainy Barnfine, and this is Sainthood Ministries. Today, we're going to be entering the realm of philosophy. So it's very appropriate that I got the fancy threads on today. We did have confirmation earlier, so my big brain is in full effect today. So today, we're going to be talking about free will, right? So most human beings throughout history have believed that human beings have free will, and Christians have always held that God is omniscient, meaning he's all knowing. He knows everything, past, present, and future. And many people unfortunately conclude that if God knows everything, then this means that we can't have free will, right? Because if God knows every future action I will ever take, then that means that I don't really have a choice for anything I do, right? So, this video, we're going to be debunking that, and I'm going to show you why that's not true. All right. If you find this kind of stuff interesting, go ahead and hit subscribe and the notification bell as well. So you get updates on whenever we put out content. All right. And with that said, let's just dive right in. Now, in philosophy, there are many different understandings of what it means to have free will. So in this video, I'm going to be addressing a very specific kind, and I believe it's the kind that your average person is referring to when they use the term free will, right? I certainly think it's the one that matters most. The kind I'm talking about is called libertarian free will, and while there's no universal agreed upon definition for libertarian free will, they all hold the some understanding that says you are the ultimate arbiter of your decisions. You are completely autonomous and are free to choose between different alternative decisions, regardless of things like your upbringing, your environment, and other external factors. Right. So, what we're asking is okay, if God knows everything that I'm going to do in the future, then do I have that? Yes. And that's because God's divine foreknowledge is not causal. Right? What that means is that just because God knows what we human beings are going to do in the future does not mean that he is actively causing us to do the things that we do. All right, so let's do a thought experiment. I want you to imagine for a sec that you have a magical crystal ball, right? And this magical crystal ball allows you to see the future events of like some far off country that you don't live in. So let's say Japan, for example. I don't think I have many audience members from Japan, which is unfortunate. So you have this crystal ball that lets you see all these future events going on in Japan, right? Now I want you to imagine you're looking at this crystal ball, it's showing you all these things that these people are going to do, and ask yourselves, are you causing these people to do the things that they do? Right? Is your infallible knowledge of what they are eventually going to do causing them to make those decisions? No, right? Who ultimately is still responsible for the choices that these people are making? It's still themselves. Even though in some far off land there exists this person who can see what they're going to do at some point in the future through this magical crystal ball. It's the same with God, right? Now, God being all powerful could force us to do whatever he wanted, but Christians don't believe that God does that unless you're a Calvinist, all right? So Calvinism is not it's not really a denomination or a sect of Christianity. I don't think that's an appropriate way to describe it. It's more so a set of theological beliefs. And from a Calvinist standpoint, God in his absolute sovereignty or his control over creation does actively determine the decision of every individual person. All right. So that's Calvinism, and it is very much the minority as far as Christianity is concerned. So if you're a Calvinist, this video will be of no help to you at all whatsoever. Like you still have this problem. But for most Christians, that's not what we hold to. So I thought contrasting Calvinism with, what the majority of Christians believe would help you see that God's divine foreknowledge does not inherently contradict the concept of having free will. So if you decide to quit your job and become a drug dealer or cheat on your significant other, yeah, God always knew you were going to do that, but he didn't do anything to actively cause you to do that. You are still the one ultimately responsible for that life choice. Again, knowledge and causation are two different things. I think it's unfortunate that a lot of people look at God's omniscience, his all knowing nature, and let it get them bogged down into this sort of, well, what's even the point sort of attitude. And the reality is, God has given us this beautiful freedom to act in his creation, to say yes to his grace, which without we literally would have no free will. We would be slaves to our disordered desires. And instead of forcing us to do things his way, he respects us enough to let us choose for ourselves. And by sending Christ to redeem us, leaving us to church, and sending the Spirit to guide us and to help us to exercise our free will the way we ought to, he shows that he really cares about the decisions we make as well. He's not the distant God of deism. I encourage all of you to pray to God without ceasing, to allow him to be a part of all of your decisions so that you may know his infinite and unfailing love. And of course, live out the amazing plan that he has in store for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you to better understand the love of the one true God. And I hope you leave a comment and let me know what your thoughts were. And check out my social media profiles as well. And become a part of the Sainthood community. We have a lot of fun. All right. Hope you guys have a great day. Take care. And I'll see you on the next video.